Okay, I decided to go with another gospel tune, and what I'm going to do is kind of introduce you to the tune if you're not that familiar with it. The name of the song is Be Thou My Vision, and I'm using the arrangement by the Petersons. So it'll say Be Thou My Vision, Petersons Live. So it's a family. They kind of use stringed instruments. The typical bluegrass kind of thing. Guitar, bass, dobro, banjo, mandolin, violin. The entire lineup they've got, and they're quite good. So I thought this was kind of in a style that you might enjoy. And what we're going to look at is just the rhythm for starters, just to get familiar with the tune. And then later on, we're going to do an arrangement. For this song, we're going to be in regular tuning. C chord, there's not many chords, but we're going to talk about the strumming and some of the transitions between the chords. The other thing that I like about this particular arrangement is they count it off, so you'll be able to come right in with them once you feel confident enough to join in. And as I've said before, you really should play along with this. That's the whole point of this lesson, is to play along with this video. Make sure the video, you have a good balance, so that you feel like you're a part of the group, that you're not louder than the group. You want the group essentially to be a little bit louder than you, but not so loud that you can't hear yourself playing. So it's good practice as far as maintaining your timing and also how to blend in with other players. So we have a C chord, so he's going to count in something like this. I think he kind of taps his guitar. 1, 2, 3, like that, and then he starts playing. Now the kind of strum that he's using primarily is something like this. So it's kind of a 1 and 2, but the ands are kind of quiet. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Now sometimes we're going to have these are eighth notes. 1, 1 and 2 and 3. Sometimes we're going to throw in some sixteenths like this. 1 and 2 and 3, da-da, 1 and 2 and 3, da-da, 1 and 2. Okay, and when we're throwing in those sixteenths, we're doing them the same place that we're doing the eighths, kind of down here at the bottom. So like, okay, so the song is in 3/4, so we have 1 and 2 and 3 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 1. Now you can do those 16th notes, those 16th strums, in place of any of the ands. So if your basic strum, if you're going to do all ands, is 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So any of those ands can be 16ths. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and. So I put that on the end of 1. This time I'll put it on the end of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So you see what I mean there? So that just gives the song a little bit more color. Now what typically happens in this song is when he's going from C to A minor, what he does, if you're playing the full C like this, which I'd recommend with the ring finger and the pinky down here, when we be on the third beat of the C chord before we go to the A minor, what we're going to do is we're going to put the middle finger on the second fret of the A string, and then we'll get to the A minor. So it'll be something like this. I'll play it real slow. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. And then we get to the A minor. And then the same thing on the way back up. On the third beat of the A minor, we'll put that finger back down to take us back to the C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay? Now, you can combine the things that we've talked about. 1 and 2 and 3. On that 3, you can do that double. So that would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay? Now that addresses the C to the A minor. And sometimes we're going from C to F. Now the F that we're going to use is going to be more of an F major 7 with the open E string. Now when we're going from the C to the F, what we can do on the third beat is lift up the middle finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So that's going to lead us to the F like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. 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 Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the intro, and then you'll see me transition from the C to the A minor, and then from the A minor back to the C, and then from the C to the F, and the C to the A minor, and the C to the F. So you kind of see it all in the introduction. I'll play it nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to do that again because I think I played too many Fs because I was thinking about what I was doing. So let me do that intro again. 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 and 1. Maybe I didn't, it just felt like I did. Okay, the other thing that I like about this particular arrangement is that there's, when you listen to it, you'll see they have each of the girls sings a verse separately, and then they do a trio where they sing with harmony, and it's really pretty. The girl who sings second, she's kind of the weakest of the vocalists, but she's still okay. She's kind of charming in her own way. I think the girl who sings the third verse is obviously the strongest of the singers. And the girl who sings the first verse is pretty good too. But what I was saying is each time that they sing the song, they harmonize it a little differently. So the chords are a little different for each verse. And if you look at the tabs, you'll see that I have the intro, then I have verse 1 marked out, and then verse 2, and then verse 3. And then there's a dobro solo, and then after the dobro solo comes in verse 4, and that's where they're all singing together. and that's as far as I took it for now. Okay? So we're going to have, just to review the chords, there'll be the C, there'll be the A minor, and very often, like I said, when we go from the C to the A minor, we'll use that transition. And then back up from the A minor to the C. From the C to the F. There'll also be D minor. So when you play the D minor, you can keep the first finger down here on the first fret if you want. It's not necessary, but you can. This way you don't have to worry about blocking out that string, because that low E string doesn't want to be an open string when you're playing the D minor. And that happens in verse 3. It goes from C to D minor. So I'm keeping my first finger down there. Not necessary, but if you don't keep your first finger down there, at least kick the string out. And then we'll have the other chords we'll have. So the D minor, I think you know, is going to be first fret, third fret, second fret. And then the A and D strings are open. So it'll go from C, looking at verse 3 now, from C to D minor. I'm using the thumb down here. To A minor, and then to E minor. All very simple chords. And then the G that he's using is typically this G. 3, nothing, open, open, 3, 3. 3, nothing, open, open, 3, 3. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play the entire thing from the beginning, fairly slow, just to give you a play along with the song. And then when you're ready, you know, you may be ready to just sit down and play along with him right away, which would be great. But just in case you're not, I'm going to give you a play along here to practice before you go ahead and play along with them. And as I said, he does give a count in, and then after that, it's just a matter of really keeping your head with the group. You know, imagine that you're part of the group and that you're playing along with them. So before you do that, though, play through a couple of times with me to make sure that you have the timing smooth. And just to review, the strum is basically going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and. Full strums on the numbers and bottom strums on the ands. The ands can be 1 and, or that can be 1 and on any and. It doesn't really matter. Okay? So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3. Verse 1. Okay, so I was just doing a random mix in the strum as far as when I was doing the up and downs or the, the eighth notes or the sixteenths. What I want to point out is in the measures that have both an F and a G, the G is always on the third beat. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that happens quite often in the song. 1, 2, 3, 1. Generally, typically, when I hit that G, when I use that G on that third beat, I just give it a single strum. That doesn't mean you can't do the eighth note strum on that. You can. I just tend to. It feels good to me to go 1 and 2 and 3, and then to the C chord. Okay. So that will get you introduced to the song if you didn't know it. If you already knew it, that'll get you playing along with, I think, is a lovely version of the song. They do quite well. And what we'll do is we'll move on to an arrangement from here. But I wanted to go through this. First of all, it's good practice just playing the rhythm and playing along. And also wanted, not knowing if you were familiar with the tune, by the time you get done practicing this and listening to it a few times, you'll be very familiar with it, which makes playing an arrangement of it quite a bit easier. Let me see if I have any more thoughts on this. I don't think that I do, so hopefully this is something that'll prove to be fairly easy, so that if you're still working on the other song, you'll still be able to devote some time to that, and and do this also, because mixing it up is always a good thing, not to get stuck in a rut. So there you go. Enjoy. Any questions? You know what to do.